for me. Blood in my dog and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me.
All right, back on the EcoTec S14. I think I might have a solution to my clutch issue. Let me show you what I got going on. So here's the flywheel that came out of the car. We're making the assumption it's for a Cobalt. The 2-liter turbo came stock with the dual mass, so it's really thick. The Fidanza flywheel that I got to replace it is really thick, but they have a version 3 that's even thicker, not in stock. They said they've had customers complain about these issues before, so they have a version 1, a 2, and a 3, depending on what the height difference is that people need to get the pressure plate and disc and flywheel to all match up. The problem we were having was when we bolt the disc down, the fingers were bottoming out on this ring. That ring is there so the throwout bearing hits it and doesn't explode inside the transmission bell. So when we bolt this down, because this space right here is not correct, the fingers were going all the way down and bottoming out. It does have these 3 guide fingers as well. So Oscar and I were assuming that that's to tell you where these fingers need to be. I'll just show you what this looks like. So now you can see it's bolted down and the fingers are touching the bottom out ring. That's the problem. That's the problem we've been running into. It was a problem with this flywheel. It was a problem with the new Fidanza flywheel. I called Fidanza. They said the version 3 wouldn't be available for about 4 to 6 weeks of production. They don't have one on the shelf right now. Had these 3 washers made. I had 2 thick ones made that Oscar and I think will be the right thickness to space it up. And then I had a thin one made so that I can go down a little bit or up a little bit. Hopefully I can use just the 2 thick ones and we'll be good. Now I'll show you what it looks like with the 2 rings installed. So we'll take this guy off. I did get longer bolts, so when I actually install this in the car, we can use this hardware and it'll bite more into the flywheel. So now you can see we're tight with the spacers. That little bit of gap gave us a pretty normal spring. We're still a little bit higher than the guide fingers. I think I'm just gonna install it like this and see how the clutch pedal feels. If it's not good, I'll know because I won't be able to spin the drive shaft. It won't release the clutch. If that's the case, add the 3rd shim on top of these 2 to give me more release. If I install it like this and it's fine, but later down the road it starts slipping the clutch, that means I need more clamping force. So I would end up swapping one of these spacers out for this spacer to bring it down a little bit. So that's my task for this afternoon. Get that transmission back in with the spacers and hopefully it's good to go. All right, so here we are with one of the thick rings. Now remember, I have 2 thick ones and 1 thin one. Right there, that's a guide, and then that's a finger. There's a guide, and then that's a finger. So you can see with 1 ring, it's pretty much even all the way across. I feel like it's down too far, and I need to put the thin spacer in, give those fingers a little bit more travel. I feel like that'll release the disc. So I'm gonna take this off and put the small spacer on. And you can see now I got the 2 spacers. I got a big one and a small one. And now you can see where the fingers line up. There's the guide finger down there. Then there's the regular fingers, which should give me a release on the clutch. Now I'm just hoping that it'll have enough pressure on the disc not to slip under load. Hey Reese.
Hi.
So when you push in the clutch, I should be able to spin the drive line. That means the clutch is working. All right, it's in gear. All right, push in the clutch. Oh yeah, let the clutch out slow. All right, I think we're in business.
Again or no?
Well, as you can see, it's back on the ground. Finally, man, it just feels so good to have it out of this spot. I had it sitting here with the exhaust pointing out the door because for about a week we were fighting the smoking issue and I wanted it to blow all the smoke outside. Clutch is in, spacing seems to be okay. All the way to the floor, releases the clutch, and as soon as you start lifting off, it clamps and grabs. So I think we have a good enough spacing to run with it like this. I can't really drive it yet, even though it can run. When Oscar was over the other day, he started buttoning up the wiring. So he cut a lot of stuff, relocated a lot of stuff, and then we made a little list of some things we had to order, like sensors and connectors and stuff, just to clean up the whole harness situation. So he's gonna come back in a few days and get the rest of that all tidied up, and then we can drop her on the ground and drive it. I doubt it's gonna make enough power to slip the clutch with the spacing we have now, but you never know. I guess we'll see. Next step is gonna be to button up the wiring, so then it'll be a running and driving car. That way I can take it to Shane and we can make the bash bars and mount the rest of the body kit and put some miles on this thing. Super stoked, and nice to have a lot of my shop space back. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Like I said in the last video, I do have a big update for Pat's Acres coming, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you later.